Ah, the Facebook Ads Manager. It's one of those tools that can feel, well, incredibly complicated. But here's the thing. It's also one of the most powerful marketing engines ever built. So today, we are going to pull back the curtain and demystify it. We're going to break down the simple three-level structure that's really the blueprint behind every single successful campaign. Ready? Let's get into it.
So, be honest. Have you ever opened the Ads Manager and just felt like you were staring at the control panel of a spaceship? Yeah, you are not alone. It is absolutely packed with options, and it is so easy to get lost. But I promise you, by the end of this, you're going to have the mental blueprint that makes it all finally click.
And that's really the secret, right there. You do not need to master every single button, every little toggle to get amazing results. The real key is just understanding the logic behind the structure. It's a simple hierarchy, and once you get it, I'm telling you, the whole platform just opens up for you.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at that core three-level structure. Then we'll dive into each level one by one. The campaign, that's your why. The ad set, that's your who. And the ad, that's your what. And then we're going to wrap up with maybe the most important habit for growth, testing. Let's dive in.
So this, right here, this is the blueprint for everything. I mean everything. Every single ad you see, whether it's from a tiny local pizza shop or a massive global brand, is built on this exact three-level structure. Getting this concept is the first, most critical step to making the platform work for you, not against you.
The best way to think about this is kind of like a set of Russian nesting dolls. The biggest doll on the outside, that's the campaign. It defines your one big goal, your why. Then, inside that, you can have a few ad sets. These decide who you're talking to and where your ads are going to show up. And then finally, tucked inside each of those ad sets are the ads themselves, the actual picture or video, the what that people will see.
All right, let's start with that biggest doll, the campaign level. Before you even think about who you're targeting or what image to use, you have to answer one simple question. What is my goal? This is so critical because your answer gives Facebook's algorithm its marching orders. It tells the machine exactly what kind of person to go out and find for you.
And make no mistake, this choice completely changes how your budget is spent. See, if you choose traffic, the algorithm will find people who are known clickers, folks who just click a lot of links. But if you choose sales, it will hunt for people who have a history of actually buying stuff online. They are not the same audience. So you have to align your objective with your real business goal.
All right, so we've got our why set up at the campaign level. Now it's time for the who, the ad set. Honestly, for a lot of people, this is where the real magic of Facebook advertising happens. It's how you go from just shouting into a crowd to whispering a perfectly targeted message right into the ear of the perfect person.
And the main way we do this is with interest-based targeting. Facebook is analyzing just trillions of data points, every page we like, every post we engage with, the groups we join, and it builds this incredibly detailed profile of our interests. This lets you show your ad to people who've basically already raised their hand and said, hey, I'm interested in this.
And this is a perfect example of how to think about it. Instead of a super broad interest like business, you get specific. You target people who've shown interest in a book that your ideal customer has probably read. It's how you find your exact tribe with some pretty incredible precision.
Now here's a classic rookie mistake, just piling a dozen different interests into one big audience. The real power move is to narrow that audience. You want to find the overlap. You tell Facebook, hey, show my ad only to people who like hiking and also like photography. That simple little "and" creates a much more qualified audience.
Let's just look at this example, right? If you're selling dress shoes, targeting everyone who likes shoes is way too broad. You're going to get people looking for sneakers, for boots, for everything. But if you narrow it down to people who like shoes and also like formal wear, you filter out all that noise. And what you're left with is this laser-focused group of people who are way more likely to want what you're selling.
So, we have our goal, we have our finely tuned audience, but none of that matters without this final piece, the ad itself. This is what's actually going to pop up in their feed. It's your one shot to stop their scroll and actually connect with that person you so carefully targeted. So every ad has these four main parts. First, you've got the creative. That's your image or video, and it has to grab attention in like half a second. Then you've got the primary text above it. That's where you build a connection. The headline below is your bold promise. And finally, that call to action button is just a simple instruction telling them exactly what to do next.
Okay, look at this. The difference is just night and day.
The ad on the left talks about the product. We sell briefcases. The ad on the right talks to the customer. It leads with a pain point they know all too well. It grabs their attention because it's about their problem, not your product. That's the huge shift you have to make. Lead with empathy.
Okay, you've built your campaign, defined your audience, and crafted a beautiful ad. You're ready to launch. But this right here, this is where average marketers stop and great marketers begin. The launch isn't the finish line, it's the starting pistol. The real growth comes from what you do next, and that's testing.
We do this with something called A/B testing, or split testing. And the golden rule is right there on the slide, and it's so important. You only change one variable at a time. Seriously, if you change the audience and the image, you'll have no idea which change actually made the difference. Isolate one thing so you can get clean, useful data. Just look at how simple and clean this test is. The image is the same, the text is the same, the placements are the same. The only thing we're changing is the target age group. By running these against each other, you will get a definitive answer to the question, which age group likes this ad more? This is how you let data, not your gut feeling, drive your decision.
So let's just bring it all home. Success with Facebook ads, it isn't about some secret hack or magic button. It's about a disciplined approach. You set a clear goal at the campaign level, you find your ideal customer at the ad set level, and you craft a message that really connects with them at the ad level. That's it. That's the blueprint.
You now have the exact framework that powers millions of dollars in advertising every single day. The theory is done. Now it's time to actually build. So, the only question left is, what's the first campaign you're going to create with it? Thanks for watching.